The Sharks offense continues to struggle as they fall 3-1 to the Panthers. We're going to chat about the offense, look at what the numbers say, and then analyze Mackenzie Blackwood's continued strong play. So all that and more on today's episode.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, contributor at Inside the Rink, and I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly part of the Locked On Network, we cover your team every day. And if you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow along wherever you get podcasts, or you can subscribe on YouTube as well, or do both. Both is great. So today we're going to be discussing the Sharks' 3-1 loss to the Florida Panthers. Dig into the offense, try to find some shining stars, one being our Swedish son, William Eklund. He had a great game tonight. And we're going to talk about Mackenzie Blackwood's play. We're going to dig into the numbers, all that and more. But before we do that, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you guys by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. So the Sharks offense, it's struggling, right? And you continue to see little baby steps and signs of growth as when we dig into the numbers a little bit more here in a second. But they have played 6 games and they have scored more than 1 goal once this season, right? It has been a struggle for this offense to find consistent goal scorers, and they have been doing a lot of good stuff. Again, William Eklund, who we'll chat about here in a minute, they're creating good opportunities, but they just don't have the horses right now to be able to kind of put together a bunch of good lines or quality lines. And I think when Logan Couture comes back, I think that might solve some of these scoring issues. As we know, Couture last year did have Couture's a 20 to 25 goal scorer that you can kind of pencil in. And again, right now you have Zetterlund and Zadina, both have 2 goals. Everybody else is at 1 or less, right? And I don't picture Zetterlund and Zadina to be your leading goal scorer. Like if Zadina is your leading goal scorer, you can, by the end of the season, you can I can see a world where that is, but you're just not getting enough production, especially from guys like Mike Hoffman, Anthony Duclair. It's these guys need to start hitting the back of the net at some point. I'm sure it'll start to come at some point, right? Remember Timo Meier last year, noted goal scorer, basically went the first 10 games without scoring a goal, and then he ended up with 40 goals last year. And we know goal scorers, sometimes it can start like this, where all you need is that one and before they start to go in. And even Tomas Hertl, right, who's played really well this season, got his first one the other night, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see more from Tomas Hertl. But as for tonight, right, kind of a slow start from the Sharks, where they were getting outshot in the first period. I think it was 9-3 at one point late in the first period. Then I think the defense started to kind of come together, and the offense started to kind of play well. But it was some special teams on that kind of, I discussed about with Armando how I think special teams could be one of the deciding factors in this game. And it was pretty even, right? But the crucial, Florida, they get there was the weird 5-on-3 for a minute, then turned out to be 4-on-3 with 2 kind of bogus calls, one on the Sharks and one on the Panthers there. But you're not able to kind of shut down that 4-on-3, and then you get an opportunity at the end of the game with under 5 minutes left. You get a power play. Jacob Peterson draws a power play, and you're just not able to turn that into a goal. And Sharks had some opportunities, but that's just kind of, where this team is at right now. They just cannot convert their opportunities because some of these guys, your Hoffmans, your Duclairs, your Barabanov, some of these guys who are supposed to be contributors and big time contributors just are not contributing right now. And you've been getting some production from your young players, but it's the veterans, I feel, that are kind of the guys who are not, other than Hurdle, veterans are the ones who are not kind of holding their end of the bargain right now. So let's talk about our Swedish son, William Eklund, who I thought had an amazing night tonight. Was all over the ice. You saw the forechecking, just creating havoc anytime he has the puck, with or without the puck, especially in the offensive zone. That like doggedness to just try to go get the puck if he doesn't have it. Winning board battles, doing that little I don't know how defensemen don't know it's coming, but he gets the puck, right? This is how he sets up the Zetterlund goal. He gets the puck in the corner. He goes, the defenseman follows him. He shifts back, and then he shifts back before the defenseman has any idea. And a great pass from behind the net to Zetterlund, who has basically a wide open cage to pop it in. And Eklund is so good we saw it again later on with his ability to kind of create space, and then his ability to scan and know where his teammates are, right? Creates an opportunity in front of late in the third period with Jacob Peterson, who just can't quite finish. The puck's a little bit behind her, but Eklund wins a kind of a battle against a bigger opponent, I will add, and is able to corral the puck and send a pass backwards behind him to Peterson, who's crashing the net like he's supposed to be. And if Peterson's like a half second slower, he's probably in a good position to score. He just, or if it's Logan Couture, I think Logan Couture scores there, but it's just a little bit behind him, but he's not able to crash at him. But we saw all night that Eklund, Peterson, Labanc line, when we dig into the numbers here, the lines, but that line was really, really good tonight. And I think eventually when Logan Couture comes back, if you replace Peterson with Logan Couture, nothing to Jacob Peterson, but Logan Couture is just a better player. If you replace that line, like if you have that line together, that's not too bad of a line there. And then maybe if Labanc or Zadina or whoever, but like I think that you have the makings of a pretty solid line. And I think Eklund, yes, he has 2 points on the season in 6 games, but like how many near misses have we seen from him? Somebody asked me if on Twitter, if they thought that Eklund might get frustrated. And yes, it's going to get frustrated not seeing the production, but process of results right now. He's making all the right plays. He's putting his teammates and his line mates in positions to succeed. And just imagine when it's not Jacob Peterson, but it's Will Smith or Quentin Musty or Macklin Celebrini there. That sounds pretty good to me. So process of results right now, especially for these young players. How are they making the most of their opportunities, and what do they do with those? And I think with Eklund, especially in this game, he had some great opportunities. He made his teammates better. And that's what you want to see, especially for a guy like Eklund, right? Eklund, I don't think he's ever going to be a 30 to 40 goal scorer, but he can make his teammates, he can elevate a line. And I think once you start getting better, talented players on a line with him, that's when we'll really, really see him take off. So before we dig into the we're going to dig into the numbers. We're going to talk about Mackenzie Blackwood's great play, all that in just a minute. But first, we want to talk to you guys about our good friends over at eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors is everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance, from superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, or even just windshield wipers. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered with over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die. You'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or your money back, because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash, with all the parts you need, the prices you want. It's easier to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. So keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay guarantee fit, only available to U.S. customers. All right. Let's dig into the numbers. I have the Ducks Columbus game on right now, which is, I think, going into overtime, which we need. I know it's way too early to be looking at points, but yes, it is in overtime. So both teams get a point. Let's go. But digging at 5-on-5, this was a little bit closer, but I mean, kind of the Panthers set the tone early, and I think the Sharks did a good job responding. Yes, in the third period, they were down a goal and kind of playing catch-up mode there. But I thought they did a good job of kind of establishing themselves. The second period was a really tight period, especially against a Panthers team that is, kind of a dark horse to be a Stanley Cup. You have put him, I think, in the Stanley Cup conversation. So, but 45 minutes of 5-on-5 ice time. Ducks win it. Let's go. 40 to 50 shot attempts in favor of the Panthers. Actual shots, again, 5-on-5 was 23 to 23. Scoring chances 16 to 27 in favor of the Panthers. High danger chances 7 to 17. And that is the big difference in this game, is the Panthers got multiple quality shots right in front of the net, and the Sharks just weren't able to match that. So we'll dig into how Mackenzie Blackwood responded with those here in a little bit. But expected goals for 2.15 to 2.12. So this is the first time I can remember all season where the Sharks actually had more expected goals for at 5-on-5 than the other team. You can kind of point to the third period where, I think maybe the Panthers were a little bit more protect mode, right? You have a 1-goal lead against an inferior opponent, right? You're trying to protect that lead. But, you can see where the Sharks kind of played with the Panthers for a good chunk of this game, especially in that second period where, the Sharks did have a 1-goal lead, and then the Panthers scored 2 goals, one of them being on the power play. It was a pretty even period. Like if you dig in that second period, 15 to 16 shot attempts is at 5-on-5, 9 to 8 in favor of the Sharks. But again, the scoring chances 3 to 11. So the Panthers' quality over quantity, or just the quality, right? The high danger chances 1 to 5 in favor of the Panthers, and they got a goal because of it. So digging into the forward lines, so. Your forwards tonight, a little interesting with the forwards. You had first line was Barabanov, Hertl, Duclair. Then you had Eklund, Jacob Peterson, Kevin Labanc, Fabian Zetterlund, Nico Sturm, Mike Hoffman, and then Luke Cunnin, Thomas Bordeleau, and Philip Zadina. So time on ice 5v5. The Barabanov, Hertl, Duclair line. They played 9:43. Definitely drew the toughest assignment tonight, and the numbers not super great. 6 shot attempts to 12. Actual shots on goal was 4 to 3. Expected goals for was 1.2 to 0.39 for that line. So definitely a little bit of struggle. But when you're playing against like Matthew Tkachuk, who's pretty good at hockey, that's going to happen. Gave up 4 high danger chances, produced 0. And then 2-4-4 for the zone starts. Quick note, Tomas Hertl, seriously, absolute monster in the faceoff circle again. 68%, almost 69% of his draws tonight. So absolute monster. Nico Sturm, 71%. So Sharks dominated the faceoff thing, and they still lost the game. So 62% to 38% on faceoffs, and still lost the game. So faceoffs, might be overrated. Second line, Eklund, Peterson, Labanc played 9:37 time on ice. Shot attempts were 6 to 7. in favor of the Panthers, 3-4 actual shots on goal, 0.35 to 0.26. So they did produce more expected goals. That line, 2 to 3 scoring chances, 1 to 1 high danger chances. Again, Panthers dominated the high danger chances in this game. 4-3-1, so a little bit more sheltered minutes, but that line was the Sharks' best line tonight. I thought they were the most noticeable line. Labanc, you can tell physicality. They mentioned in the broadcast, but a physicality from Labanc that we have not really seen from him. So especially when you're playing with Eklund, who's you don't want Eklund just run around slamming dudes. That's not his style. And Jacob Peterson's a little bit more slight guy as well. So not that Kevin Labanc is some huge hulking monster. But that line right now is working. Like I said, I think when Couture gets back, I would like to see the Eklund Couture Labanc line or an Eklund Couture Zadina line. We'll talk about the Zadina here in a little bit. But that line, I wouldn't be surprised if they stick together for the next game. So Fabian Zetterlund, Nico Sturm, Mike Hoffman, 8-19 time on ice, 3 to 11 shot attempts in favor of the Panthers, 2 to 5 actual shots in favor of the Panthers, 2.26 to 0.37 expected goals in favor of the Panthers, 3 to 6 scoring chances in favor of the Panthers, 2 to 6 high danger chances in favor of the Panthers, 2-2-3 with your zone start. So we've seen the Zetterlund-Sturm combo work really well with Giovanni Smith. That fourth line was one of the best lines for the Sharks earlier in the season. You take out Giovanni Smith and you put Mike Hoffman, and that line just is not the same. So I'll let you kind of put 2 to 2 together with what's maybe not working on that line. So Mike Hoffman, again, not a guy who's been, I would say, has been contributing as much as he should be contributing on this team right now. So, and then the Luke Cunnin, Thomas Bordeleau, Philip Zadina, and believe me, I got all the mentions today is why is this fourth line together, et cetera, et cetera. Like, why is Zadina playing on the fourth line? And I think for whatever reason, Zadina's in the doghouse right now, but this fourth line was great tonight. 7:33 time on ice, 14 shot attempts for, 9 allowed. Shots were 6 to 6. 0.5 expected goals for was the best out of all the Sharks lines. 0.21 expected goals against, the best out of all the Sharks lines when it came to defense. 5 scoring chances gave up 4, 3 to 3 to high danger chances, and 1, 2, 3 zone starts. So it's not like this line was getting a lot of quality zone starts. Bordeleau, Zadina, and then we swap out Luke Cunnin. Luke Cunnin and Hoffman are the two guys right now who I think are really not doing what they need to. And Luke Cunning's a great penalty killer. I know Mike Hoffman's helps on the power play, but I think you can point to those guys right now who you would like to see someone else, but you're not going to, especially with Mike Hoffman, established vet who gets paid a lot of money. And Luke Cunnin, he does a lot of the little things, add some grit and toughness, all that stuff. But those I think the guys that personally I would like to see, a Bordeleau Zadina line that's a great sounding line, right? Especially Zadina, who's shown a physicality that we haven't really seen from him before. He's, and I think with Bordeleau's creativity, with Zadina, you can see where that line. But again, it's a lot of these lines, you feel good about 2/3 of the line, but that last guy just isn't really kind of it. So will be interesting to see what Quinn does going forward. I wouldn't be surprised though if we see the same lines on Thursday when they play the Lightning, because yes, this team can't score, but I thought overall, again, you've seen those baby steps with the offense, and I think letting some of these guys get some chemistry together might be kind of the best thing for the Sharks, right? Remember last year with Quinn, how much this team struggled at the beginning of the season. It took them about a month before the offense started clicking, and then October or November, December, the offense was really, really good. Granted, you had Erik Karlsson and Timo Meier driving a lot of play, but you a lot of the underlying numbers with their high danger chances and their scoring chances, those took a big jump kind of after the team got some chemistry together. So we'll see if that. I don't expect a huge jump, but once these guys play a little bit more, especially if you get Mikael Granlund back, hopefully at some point soon, when Logan Couture comes back, you get some of these guys healthy again. Like you could see where the offense could start to take some steps here and be a little bit more productive, especially if Eklund continues to play the way he's playing. So we're going to finish up by talking about Mackenzie Blackwood and his strong game tonight here in 1 second. But first, we got to talk about our good friends over at Game Time. And you shouldn't have to worry about buying tickets for your next big event. You've got Warriors just kicked off. You've got the Sharks. You got the Niners. You still plenty of concerts going on. If you want to go to a comedy show, theater events, whatever you want to do, Game Time's got you covered with killer last-minute deals, all in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guaranteed. Last minute tickets, they got flash deals, they got zone deals, easy to find and buy tickets all from every kind of event in your area. And I love they have the views of the seat. You know exactly what your seat's going to look like because there's nothing worse than getting there and realizing you have bad seats. Actually, the only thing worse is when you go to check out and they add a bunch of fees on top. You don't have to worry about that with Game Time. The lowest price guarantee. You can see how much your tickets are going to cost before you go to check out. There's no hidden fees, all up front. You buy tickets in 2 seconds with 2 taps. And they're obsessed with finding deals on tickets right up to the start of the event. Even an hour after it starts, it's the place to find last-minute seats. So take the guesswork out of buying with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL, LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Mackenzie Blackwood has just been a nice steady presence for the Sharks. Had another great night tonight, stopping 32 of 34 shots. Poor Mackenzie Blackwood, though, getting just hammered with shots. But 941 save percentage tonight. Like, the Sharks haven't had a goalie like this for a while, where you feel confident, like if you can get like 3 on the board, you got a real chance at winning the game, especially the way Blackwood's been playing. And he continued that tonight. So digging into his numbers, all situations, 34 of 32, 2 goals against, expected goals against all situations was 3.85. So he basically saved almost 2 more goals than expected. 941 save percentage, 211 goals against, high danger, all situations, 21 shots. I don't think the Sharks have had 21 high danger shots this whole season. That's a lie. They definitely have, but that's like 3 games for the Sharks to get to 21 high danger shots. The Panthers did that in 1 game tonight. 21 high danger shots. He made 19 high danger saves. Gave up 2 goals. 905 save percentage. I would just be happy if one of the Sharks goalies ended with a 905 save percentage on the season. He had a 905 high danger save percentage tonight. That is mind-boggling. Like 750 high danger save percentage is like a good high danger save percentage. He had 905 tonight. Like there's probably goalies tonight who went 19 of 21. Like just in a full game. He did that in high. That's absolutely bonkers what Blackwood is doing right now. I don't know if it can last the whole season, but let's enjoy Mackenzie Blackwood for what he's doing right now. He has been a breath of fresh air in the crease, and tip of the cap, hats off, whatever. Like Blackwood has been just he's given the Sharks a chance night in and night out. Like, oh my, it's ridiculous. 4 out of 4 for mid-danger shots, 8 for 8 low-danger shots. So, yeah. I would assume with the Sharks having 3 and 4 coming up, right? So Thursday they play against the Lightning. Friday they play against the Canes. And then Sunday, their last game of the road trip, they play against the Capitals. If I was trying to guess what I think David Quinn's going to do, I think he's going to put Blackwood in a position to try to start 2 out of 3 there. And I would assume probably starts against the Lightning on Thursday, Kaapo Kähkönen on Friday versus the Hurricanes. And then you let Mackenzie Blackwood play against the Capitals, especially the Capitals team, which has also struggled a ton recently. And that's the game you're kind of circling as that could be the first win right there. If you're looking at the calendar, a Capitals team that has been absolutely just dreadful this season. I think they got shut out. They did get shut out tonight. Or no, they scored 1 goal, excuse me. 1 goal tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They've been shut out once. They've scored 2-1, 2-1 so far this year. And they play against, they'll have a little bit of a rest advantage. Actually, no, they'll be on the same rest, excuse me, as they play Friday night, and then they play again on Sunday against the Sharks. But that's the one you're kind of circling as like, okay, this could be the game where the Sharks finally get their first win. And I think having Blackwood go out on that would be what I would guess with him. But Mackenzie Blackwood has just he's been great for the Sharks this year. We'll see how long the health goes. I think you do have to worry about continually running him out. And I think we would, as the season goes on, like to see a little bit more split between him and Kaapo Kähkönen, so that way you don't wear out Mackenzie Blackwood. Like Mackenzie Blackwood probably shouldn't be starting 50-55 games for you, but maybe that 48 range. I know 2 games doesn't sound like a lot, but like anytime you can try it, you don't want to wear him out, especially for a guy who has not been the picture of health for this season. I know you're trying to win games and trying to put your best players out there, but you got to also figure out what you have in Kaapo Kähkönen. And I think getting these guys in a routine of, every other or whatever it is. So that's what I expect. I expect Blackwood Thursday, Kaapo Kähkönen Friday against the Canes, and then Blackwood again on Sunday. So, but yeah, hats off to Mackenzie Blackwood. Dude's been an absolute stud all season long. I know it's 3 games or whatever, but like 4 games now. So he's been an absolute stud, more than I expected from him. And I think you would probably be lying to yourself if you said this is what you expected from Mackenzie Blackwood. So it'd be nice to have some sort of answer in net for the next couple of years as you're starting to see the offense start to grow a little bit. I think once they start to get some pieces back, figure out the lines, figure out some chemistry. We'll dig into the defense tomorrow. I'm going to spend a whole because we don't really talk a lot about defense on the podcast. We're going to spend a whole episode tomorrow kind of digging into the defense, which guys have looked good, which guys have kind of underperformed. So we'll dig into that tomorrow for the season, so far for the season. And then if you get Mackenzie Blackwood, like you can see where this team is going here sooner rather than later. So that's going to be it for me today. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow to discuss. We're going to dive deep into the defense, and then we'll be back. We got 2 games this week. We got some CUDA games coming up. Plenty of college hockey. There's a lot of stuff going on. So next week we got some time off. We'll be able to kind of dig into some of the prospects. Got a good interview lined up for you guys. So one of the Barracuda players will be joining me for next week. So we'll got plenty of stuff. So make sure you guys are following along wherever you get podcasts, or you can subscribe on YouTube as well. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter at MyFryHole, and on Instagram if you want to. It's also at MyFryHole. Just mostly pictures of the kids in Dakota, but whatever. And yeah, until tomorrow. Bye, friends.